glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. So today is Sunday, June 13th, and hopefully this week I'll have no glitches and be able to just upload this to be ready by tomorrow morning.
Fingers crossed.
Last week didn't work that way, so sorry for those of you who were kind of like, where are they? Maybe nobody is like that, but maybe.
There might be one or two that wondered, but because we had missed, we missed that week that we didn't really talk about missing. I don't think we even really talked about the fact that we were going to miss an episode.
Well, yeah, I don't think I even realized we were going to have to until.
Yeah, and it's not life shattering. I mean, I know people are not like going to die if they don't see our video, but.
I might die if we don't get to chat about cross.
I know. If you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you're returning, we love you. Thank you for coming back.
Yep.
And if you're new, you also might wonder, we are a mother and daughter, and we are in opposite sides of Washington State. So we do this on Zoom.
And my daughters hop on here with me too. So I have a little stitching partner over here today.
Only one out of the three, huh?
Only one out of the three. Oh, a bird just hit the window. Whoa. That was kind of a really like incoming, because I'm facing the window and it like suddenly was.
I think it left a shadow too. Like
that was weird.
Is it okay?
I rewatched that. Yeah, it flew up into the sycamore tree that we have out there.
Oh,
it happens actually all the time because we have big windows all around our upstairs, and birds often hit another spot where there's a lot of trees on our porch and stuff. That's where they usually hit. But this one,
can you imagine being those birds like, what the heck?
I'm just flying along thinking I'm going straight through. Boom. One time when I was in high school, I will never forget this. I was at a gathering, like just for youth group or something. And I'm trying to remember whose house we were at. I can't remember now, but it was a guy's house, like somebody I knew. And they had the screen door closed. Do you remember this?
It was our pastor's house.
Oh, that's right.
It was at Jeff Jeremiah's house.
Yeah, that's right. We were at the pastor's house. I don't even remember why we were there because it's not like somewhere often. And I don't know, I somehow missed that the screen door was closed. There was obviously a lot of people there because you were there. I mean, like lots of people there.
No, I just remember you telling me about it.
Oh, maybe it was a youth gathering then.
It was like a Bible study.
I can't even remember anything except the moment of extreme humiliation because there's tons of people around and I walked slam into, like I was like running kind of into the sliding, not the glass door thankfully, but the sliding door, the screen. And like fell down. I know how those birds feel when they slam into my window, except for maybe they're not as mortified as a 17-year-old girl would be.
Where all the cute guys are, and everybody had a crush on the pastor's son, of course, so I'm sure that was even more mortifying.
Yeah, I never really had a crush on him in particular, but
I'm sure somebody else was there that you did.
I'm sure there were probably several guys over the course of time that I'd had.
I'm sure word got out, because weren't they teasing you about it later?
Yes, I was like the butt of jokes for so many reasons growing up. Oh, I see it sitting there. I was a starling, so I don't actually care if it has brain damage. Hopefully it'll just, we hate starlings. Dead. I've probably talked many times about my hatred of starlings. It's probably the one that was hatched in our attic. It's probably trying to get back to its nest.
Home base.
Oh my gosh.
You had one hatched in your attic?
We have a nest. Yes, there's a hole that we really need to block up.
Oh.
Add a little nest up there. They were very noisy and annoying and gross. And we just
tell him he's been demoted, evicted. You're out of here.
I know. Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah.
We're glad you're joining us to talk nonsense and stitching. Millie, do you want to show first what you have? No, you don't want to go first?
No, I'm trying to finish this row.
You're going to finish that row. Well, I'll talk about something that I did this week that's new.
What did she want to finish?
Her row. You know that. Oh. I got to finish the row syndrome. Don't interrupt me till my row is done. I haven't even told you this. I signed up for a subscription to a website called Prep Dish, and it's just a gal, a mom, who runs this website, and she's a nutritionist, dietitian, or something in her like professional life, and she has created this website where you sign up, you pay for the service, and every week you get a meal plan delivered to your email box, like with the grocery list and all of the like step-by-step instructions for doing a meal prep day for like an hour on a Saturday or Sunday. So I was like, I have increasingly, as my girls are getting older, I'm having increasing difficulty making time and energy to do meal planning. We're just eating the same. I like to explore in the kitchen. I like to try new recipes, but I just don't have the time I did when they were little to browse around and come up with fun stuff. Or even making my grocery list was starting to feel like, oh, this is taking forever. So I decided to try this service because they were having like a major deal for the whole year. So I did that all day after. Well, we did a Zoom meetup for people who wanted to join us. And I'm sorry, Barb, if you're watching, that I didn't get your email in time, or anybody else that maybe I missed. I was trying to be really careful, but I might have missed one. I know for sure I missed somebody. So I'm sorry if I missed that. And after that, I had gone shopping Friday and gotten all the groceries. And then I did meal prep all afternoon, so that this week I will just have quick, kind of like, because we had been talking about like HelloFresh and some of those services where you have food delivery. Now, I can't afford that, especially like with our family.
No.
I have been trying to find ways to streamline it. And I was kind of trying to do meal prep, kind of do that for myself, but I was having a hard time conglomerating a list for doing all of that meal prep in one thing. And this just has like, here's your veggies, you do this with your veggies, here's your meat. This, like, anyways, it was really easy, and the meals look.
You get 7 meals? Is it 7 meals in the meal?
It's actually 4 meals, and then usually 4 or 5 meals. So one of the meal plans was 5 dinners, and one of them was 4, because you have access to 3 different options.
Okay.
So for the week, and so I actually took 2 of those options and I spread them over 2 weeks. So the one that was only 4 meals also came with like a salad recipe that you could make a bunch of and have through the week, and then a breakfast and a dessert or lunch. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you're getting at least 4 or 5 dinners, which is great for me, because then we already still do, like, we do pizza night and make homemade pizza on Fridays, and Saturdays we've been trying to do like a hot dog roast in our fire pit out in the yard on Sundays, just for ease. So then I almost just have to come up with 1 meal a week on Saturday.
That's easy enough to do.
And it includes, this is nice too, that I think I might try. It includes a text list of your groceries that you can just input into a meal delivery like a grocery. You can like
pick up
your Walmart, grocery pickup, which is like probably something I need to avail myself of more. And anyways,
I have to say, you know, I really never ever considered grocery pickup before the pandemic, and then during the initial lockdown from last March through until I started going to the stores again in June and July. Pickups here were really crazy. Like, you waited days to get an appointment time, and so it was really hard. I just thought, no, I had 2 sons that would go do my shopping for me, so I never explored it. And then I thought, oh well. And then I did a lot of shopping around Christmas, because I do a lot of food stuff for the holidays. But I was really getting tired of going to the grocery store, and I really didn't like shopping with a mask on. I got too warm, and my glasses fog up. I complained about that for the last year on this Flosstube. So after Christmas, it was pretty much just, you know, Carrie and I here. I mean, my trailer kiddos, they do their own cooking. And I thought, I'm going to try doing grocery pickup at a store that's really close to me.
Lisa, trailer kiddos.
That's really close to me, but it's a little higher priced. But I found that I wasn't really spending extra money because I wasn't browsing the aisles and throwing extra stuff in my cart. So I've been doing that. But for a long time, I thought, who would do that? I'm like, I hope they continue to offer this. And at this store, they're doing it for free. It's like free pickup.
Walmart, I think, is free here.
But then I'm also supplementing with Home Chef, which I had gotten a coupon and I got a bunch of free meals. And so for the first couple of weeks, I did 3 meals a week from them. And I'm only doing 2 now, which is fine, because of we eat out with our friends on Saturday. We do pizza on Friday. I sometimes do breakfast for dinner on Thursdays. So it makes it kind of nice to at least have 2 of those meals already prepped for me. And so I've got 2, but then the trailer kiddos, they just tried Home Fresh, and their box came today, and I've never had any problem with my food coming. It's cold. It's, it's been packed. The meat's been frozen. So, it's been cold all along, and there's ice packs in there. Theirs came that way, but their little package of chicken is supposed to be sealed, and the corner was peeled up.
Oh.
So, and my meat always comes vacuum packed in bags and then in a bigger bag so that if anything oozes out, it's always contained. So I don't know. I have never tried the one they're trying, and it might have just been a fluke, but if you're ever wondering about those services, I've been pretty happy with Home Chef. Sometimes I feel like their meals are a little bit the same flavor profile. Like, yeah. And if you want anything a little bit, you know, I'm trying to go the affordable route because my husband's really not on board with this I mean, he is, but he isn't. So I try to do the more cheaper option, which is a lot of chicken. And I do supplement sometimes. You can always upgrade to like steak or whatever, or beef, but anything with fish is like almost $4 more for one serving. So you're paying $8 extra for that meal. That makes it more than a restaurant almost.
Yeah, I think it's probably not worth it.
So that's why doing 2 is good, because it gives me enough variety and I can make fancier meals for cheaper if I want to. So anyway, that's our little stuff.
I'm having Millie grab so this prep dish one is kind of like that, but you just do all the prep yourself and then put it in containers in the fridge. I mean, a lot of moms I know do a lot more meal prep, but I have never done quite that much like organization ahead of time because I need kind of a system to do it. So these meals sound good. They have paleo and gluten-free, a plan for paleo/gluten-free. You can kind of make modifications around those. And then they have one for keto, which I'm not doing. And they don't have one that's not either, like those are their options. But I thought we're not technically a gluten-free family, but I want to kind of decrease the carbs that we're eating. And a lot of times it looked like I could just substitute regular flour instead of gluten-free flour or whatever. Right. So for like the 1 week is chimichurri.
Wait. So you're saying you say she only has gluten-free, paleo, or keto?
Paleo and gluten-free is one option, like they're kind of together, and then you just choose options. And then the other one is keto. But the third one is like a fast. This week, she had a fastest meal plan ever. And that's the second week I did. And I don't think I have, oh yeah. Where is that? Sorry. Oh, here we go. So there's usually a chicken and a beef or pork and a seafood option. And it looks like, and then, so like the fastest meal plan ever, it's like a 30-minute prep is all you have to do if you do that one. And it has maple mustard chicken with roasted mini potatoes and broccoli, slow cooker Italian pork shoulder with chopped asparagus and peas, which I'm not going to do frozen peas. I got actual snow peas. So I just substituted for our preference. Shrimp tostados, which is going to be a shrimp and like a lime onion marinade and then cooked and then topped on top of tostado shells. And then you take the Italian pork that's left over and you make a mixed green salad with roasted grapes and goat cheese. And then the last one on that week was California burgers with a berry salad. And that was their fast meal plan. The one that had a little bit more prep time was chimichurri salmon, which the chimichurri smells good. If you don't know what that is, it's like a marinade almost, but I don't think you really marinate the meat in it. It's like, this one was red wine vinegar with olive oil, blended up with some cilantro and parsley and salt and something else. Anyway, it smelled so fragrant. Salt and pepper drumsticks with roasted mushrooms and asparagus. So there's always a veggie side that you prep ahead to. Flank steak fajitas, arugula with blackberries, feta, and sliced almonds. And this one came with a breakfast, blueberry banana green smoothie, and a snap peas for snack, and a dessert recipe for cherry mousse.
So how long did it take you to do your prep work yesterday for the whole week?
It took me a little bit extra, partly because I think it's my first time to do it. And I was doing 2 weeks worth of prep. And I'm hoping that I might end up doing just 1 week at a time. I might switch that, but because I have traditionally been shopping every 2 weeks, I decided to try to do it. But if some of the veggies start to go bad by the middle of next week, then
I was gonna say, I would question the veggie prep for 2 weeks out.
So we'll see how that goes. There wasn't a lot of veggie prep for the week 2. This time, just some salad, some like greens.
Well, that's a cool resource for people that that don't want to have that want to pick out their own food.
I think the whole 2 weeks I probably prepped for maybe 2 hours total. Yeah, and then each day you just kind of pull it out and mix it up like you would with one of your
right.
So, anyways, cool. I'll put a link to it in the description box to the website that you can do that. She's running a special now, I think right now, that you can get kind of a good deal. So
I'd probably do that if I wasn't working full time.
Yeah, I know it's not like for everyone, but
Yeah, I would probably do that for sure, because I like to get new recipes, but it's so time consuming to go pour over recipes and then yeah. Anyway, good. Okay.
She's ready. She's asking and asking. Because surprise, surprise. Maybe it's not a surprise because if you want, oh, you're gonna do this one first? Yeah. Do you have a photo? Grab your photo.
Oh, look at his face. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, Billy.
Tell us what she's called. What is the name of this pattern?
Happy Spring
By
Frosted
Pumpkin
Stitchery.
The Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Happy Spring, which you gave to her. And yes, look how far she's come.
Oh, look, pull it back a little bit, honey. It's kind of blurry. Oh my gosh, you came a long way on that since I saw it last.
She's got like the whole hat and face done.
So cute.
I wish we could film what my husband is doing off to the side to distract us. He's like doing a funny dance.
Is he?
Yeah. Okay, show your other thing because we all have been waiting to see it.
Is it finished? Do you have a finish?
It's all done.
You do? You finished it yesterday? Oh, really? Oh, how cute is that?
Beautiful.
How are you going to find something that's going to be as cute as that to do next?
Well, I don't know. That Happy Spring is just as cute.
I know.
This is Tiny Modernist.
Got a ways to go on.
We'll have to look again at. We'll have to look at the Tiny Modernist and see if there's any other designs that she likes.
So cute. Oh, that was
finished that Happy Spring.
Just about a year.
Yep.
Which is really good because you didn't work on it nonstop.
She has worked hard on that. I'm proud of her. So that
is gorgeous.
Is what Millie has finished. I'm sorry, what? For what? Okay, here's another funny plug before we talk about more stitching. Yes, you can take a Band-Aid. So there's these new Band-Aid kits at Costco, and I've seen them advertised on some other Instagram accounts I follow called Welly Bandages, and they're really cute, like really cute Band-Aids. And now I told them that the Band-Aids have to stay in my bathroom so I can monitor to make sure they're not just using them for decoration. Like their bodies. So it's like a big treat if somebody gets to have a Band-Aid. I just bought those on Friday. So far, at least 3 have been used. And they're not super cheap. I kind of splurged on it, but here you go. We'll just be a commercial this week. Sorry, everybody. We don't usually none of this is endorsed. We're not sponsored. Like,
no
stuff I've found that I like. This is it. But look how cute they come in.
Oh.
There's like all kinds of shapes and like.
Are they out there just poking each other and trying to get puncture wounds so they can have Band-Aids?
These are fingertip Band-Aids. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, cute.
Those are fingertips so that they wrap around your finger nice.
Yeah.
And there's like a little diagram. Okay, now we're gonna take it away. I'm not gonna keep showing all the.
We've seen enough Band-Aids now.
Take them to the other room. Okay. Bye-bye. It's time to share.
Sorry. We might need to edit some of this.
Oh no, I think it's fine.
Sorry guys. We're just in a chatty mood today.
Move along.
I have no need to leave this room because if I leave this room, I might get really angry.
So why don't we should do featured friends next.
Yes.
So here comes some more stitching. Don't worry, it's happening. This week, the next person, I have a few more lined up, but every week we've been doing, every week we've been doing what we are calling featured friends, where we're featuring somebody who sends us a picture of their stitching and describes what they are doing. So I'm just doing them in the order that I receive them. And so if you're interested in sending us in something that you have either finished and hanging on your wall or a pillow or whatever, or something that you're working on now, our email is in the description box below. You can send it and I will get, through it. I don't have like a ton, but I have a few more weeks worth. So we'd love to see what you are stitching. So this week we have from Heather Miller, and this is actually finished now, but when she sent it, it wasn't quite finished yet. So I'll show what it is now, but I'll also link down below her Instagram account, maybe handle or something, so that you can go see her finished product. So this is Heather, and she has now finished, but was working on Blue Pumpkin by Mika Stitch Designs. So I'll go ahead and insert the photos right here. know who thinks to do blue pumpkins. Like, I mean, I guess there are kind of bluish gray pumpkins,
There
but
are.
it's so cute.
Yeah.
And the lantern. So she says, I'd like to share my progress on a Russian design I've been working on. It's called Blue Pumpkin by Mika Stitch Design on Etsy. I can't tell you how much I'm absolutely loving stitching it. I literally can't put it down. The chart calls for, and she said yesterday she worked on it just for 3 weeks straight, just that. I can't tell, I can't put it down. The chart calls for 5 blended colors, half stitches, and 2 thicknesses of back stitching. It just makes me smile to work with these colors in the same chart. The fabric is 25 count Lugana Splash. I did try to do it 1/1, but it was too hard to see, so I restarted it 2/2. Thankfully, it still fit on the fabric. There are 3 more pumpkins in this series, and I plan to stitch them all. Thank you for the opportunity to share. So I'm going to also link. I found that Mika Stitch on Etsy, so I'll link that below too. That's why not.
And part of the discussion over that pattern was she did it because Anastasia, who is, what's her YouTube? Neko Detka
is, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but Nekodetka.
Is that her YouTube name? I think if you put in Anastasia something, anyway, we can link to her too, because we love her. But she's a Russian stitcher who lives in China, and she has a lot of Russian stitching friends, and I think is a part of a lot of Russian stitching groups. And we've talked before about the different look of European and Russian designers do a lot of back stitching, which to me isn't a big deal because I learned on patterns that had lots of back stitching. So this phenomenon of hating back stitching is kind of new to me. But she did it as part, they were doing a kind of a challenge of doing I think it was pick a Russian designer, but I think to focus on the back stitching, which really makes that piece. Because when you see that finished piece with all of her back stitching on those pumpkins and that lantern, it's stunning. And so that was part of a challenge that Anastasia was doing. And I have to say, I went to that designer's Etsy shop and she has some really cute things. There's such a different style about them from from our American designers. And I love our designers too, but there's a definite difference.
Yes.
So check out that shop too, because I think you might find something cute.
I will link it down below.
Yeah.
She had some really cute things yesterday when I was glancing through there.
And I think we can get them just as PDFs. So you don't have to wait for shipping for paper patterns.
Before we show whips, as long as we're kind of talking about people that have sent stuff, let's answer that question that came from Susan.
Yes.
And it came a few weeks ago. Sorry, Susan, I'm just getting into it. I'm trying to catch up on email. I got like a bunch all at once. So Susan had a question about the sweater you were knitting for baby Junie. Does she's like a rainbow? If you want to, I can.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll go get it real quick. It's just out. So this is the pattern she's talking about that I'm knitting for Junie.
Yes.
And this is the back. Well, it's also the front yoke, but it's got this little lace pattern yoke.
And she was asking if you had a hard time with the yoke because she was having a hard time making the stitches come out right, like the right number of stitches. And I remember you did have a hard time with that. So
I did have a hard time. And I have to tell you, I'd have to go back and look at the pattern, but I'm pretty sure what I ended up doing was putting stitch markers in every so many. I'd have to look at how often I was putting them in. But there's a definite stitch repeat, I think, in this lace pattern. And so I always made sure I counted my stitches. I think, trying to think now, because I started this a while ago and then put it down. And I feel like I'm doing the smallest size, and I feel like it was like a 9 stitch repeats. I mean, it wasn't the same repeat because obviously you have yarn overs and stuff, but it always came out to, I think, 9 or 12 stitches or something like that. I could be wrong. And that was the smallest size, but I think I had stitch markers and I just started counting between each stitch marker because I think I ripped it out a couple of times. So you're not alone.
I remember you getting a little frustrated, and I remember you wondering if there was an error in the pattern. So
I did, but I did not find an error. It was an error on my part in counting. So
try the stitch markers to see if you can chunk them together in ways that keep track of whether your stitches are lining up. Would be your recommendation.
I think I actually went into that pattern and counted like out loud to myself, knit 1, knit 2 together, so I counted how many stitches would be between each marker, and it was always the same. Yeah, sorry about that. It's not you though. Don't think it's because you're not a good knitter and I don't know why it took me so long to get my stitch markers out. I used to use stitch markers for lace all the time because I do not like having to find a mistake in lace. I can't actually. I don't have the skill to find it and fix it if it's way down below. And if you're off a stitch, your lace pattern's all screwed up. So it's not, when you're doing lace, you really can't fudge it very well. So I would definitely say stitch marker it. And
maybe you've already gotten past it because we're so delayed here, but I'll shoot her an email too, letting her know we talked about it in this episode.
But anybody else that ever knits that has questions, it took me a long time to realize that that's what stitch markers are really good for. And I don't know why it took me so long on this one. I hadn't really knit anything really lacy for a while either. So
yeah. Thank
you for your question. And we're sorry it's such a late response.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do whips or should I?
You start.
I can go. Okay. Well, here's what I've been working on this week. Well, I've been working on a lot of things, but here's what I've been working on for stitching. So this week, I don't know if this is really worth sharing. Let me double check. Maybe I'll just show it without worrying about the pattern because I really didn't do that much on this, but I have been working on my toile sampler. I love the blues on this. I just think it's so pretty.
Yeah.
So I've just been working here and I started another motif that goes down here, but I can't remember what it even is now, but I'll show it next time. Yeah. I really didn't put very many stitches into that one.
It's turning out so cute though.
No, I really like it. I'd love for it to be done this winter. And I put a few stitches in my Twilight Angel, this gold collection dimensions. It is really prettier in person than I realized it was going to be. Like, it's kind of like, stitch that. I think it's cute, but the colors are really nice on this fabric.
It's kind of an older pattern, but I think the colors on the picture aren't true to what you're getting.
I think that's right, because I feel like the purples and the blues are really bluer tone than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I like that.
It does have more gold. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm up here still, so it will probably be more off-white and gold when I get down there. But I don't know. It's just nice stitching Ada. Like, I'm more and more realize I do really enjoy stitching on even weave of any kind.
Yeah.
So I worked on that a little bit. I worked on, this is one of my whip go pieces, so I've been kind of trying to time myself on my Cuore I Batticuore Christmas tree one. I'm still on that house, surprise, surprise. I'm on the roof now.
That never ends.
I finished that window, worked on, you can't really see very well, but I put in a bunch of the white up there on the roof. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I need to get a few more hours done on that this month, but I don't think I'm going to have any problem with that one because I worked pretty diligently on it. And then my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow is my other whip go piece. And I was still finishing up. I did it in May and it got called again for June. So I was actually finishing up the time scheduled for May. So I officially finished the 8 hours for May and now I'm working on the 8 hours for June. I have finished this one and I'm on this square and I've made a couple counting errors. So I'm kind of trying to fix them. It's really just matters in terms of the placement of these fish. Yeah. So I'm working on that, the seahorse right here. Oh. And now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look, oh yeah, it is filled in. You just can't see it very well on that color. So
cute.
I got the brown fish done. There's two colors there. They're kind of showing up.
Yeah, I can see it.
And then I'm working on the seahorse. Yeah.
That block doesn't look like it should take too long.
It has quite a bit of white space. Yeah. Like you just have like all
this. It's like all you got left is some little motify things.
I'm just going to have to really count carefully on the border since I have made a couple little mistakes in the counting. Part of the reason I think I've made those mistakes is because of that white space, and counting 1 over 1 is tricky. So I think I've just off one, like I'm this far too, like this way too much on some of it. And I'm just going to need to really count my border stitches to make sure that they line up once I do the next.
Yeah.
But I'll just have to be really careful about that. And then I had a couple other things. I worked on at our Zoom chat yesterday. So that was fun. Because it was didn't require too much thought. This is Alicia Paulson's When That April. which is a quote from the Canterbury Tales. I don't think we ever read it. The quote is, "When that April with his shores soot," oh, I don't even know why I'm trying to read this. I can't. "The drought of March hath pierced to the root and bathed every vein in which liquor of which virtue engendered is the flower." That's the quote. She had to memorize it in high school, that part of it.
Oh, is that why she did?
Yeah.
Wow, she's really smart. You're too far.
Don't even know what he's talking about there. So I finished the third flower, or maybe I stitched the whole third flower this week. And this is the kind of like the hill in the background, and this is the stem of the big daffodil, and then this is the side border. So I was just working on that. I think it's 3371. Yeah. Which the kit came with a whole skein of that because there's so much of it required for this piece.
Yeah, this kit, she said she did differently. You don't get complete skeins, right, Sarah?
Right. Usually she does just snips of the threads that you need. This looks
okay.
And it did come like that again, except for the 3371, because there's so much of the.
Hold the pattern up again. I want to see it again.
Yeah. I think because of that big border and that whole daffodil is outlined, and the sheep, there's just a lot of it.
Yeah, there is.
And the spring and the snail are all in that color. So she just went ahead and sent the whole little skein.
I like that color anyway.
I do too. I like stitching with it. It always sort of lays nice or something.
I've always liked it. And sorry.
I worked on Garden Fresh it's fresh from the garden from Little House Needleworks. Little House Needleworks. And I'm working on this. I do really like this. I could see stitching that little needle book. That's cute. But I went ahead and I'm doing this on like green fabric from you. And I didn't even really realize till this week when I was really looking at it, how much of an alphabet sampler it was. Like, I think I didn't really put it together.
You know, I'm supposed to be starting that tomato time needle book. And I'm looking at that one thinking, oh, I want to do that needle book too, the little one you got. And I just all of a sudden realized, I was thinking as you're talking, how many needle books does one person have? I thought, wouldn't it be fun though, to have a little basket just full of little needle books in there?
You know what would be fun too would be to do a needle book swap someday. Wouldn't that be a fun idea?
Ooh, I like that idea.
That would be really fun. And you stitch one up and then get partnered or
yes.
paired. That would
be really cool.
I like that idea. I'm gonna have to think about that. So I've done the border all the way down. And then I think I went back up here and started working and I did cabbage. I'm not sure I love the light colored. I'm just doing my own color substitutions from Stash. And this is the same as the cabbage, but the cabbage doesn't show up really great, but I think I'm okay with it.
Is it a overdyed floss?
Oh. Yeah. I might pull it out and do something else, but.
Yeah. It shows up fine for the border. But the border, you're used to borders kind of fading in and out, but.
Yeah, but you can't really read the word. So I might have to pull that out and switch to another color. I might even do it in not a green. Maybe I'll do it in a brown or orange or something.
Do it in a yellow even, or a.
Yeah, I could just totally change it.
Darker green.
Okay, sorry. The last thing I have to show is I started, let me see if I'm gonna have to pull up the picture. 1 second. I started a sweater for my friend's baby that he was born late in the winter last year, like 2021. Or late 2020. I can't remember when he was born. And I wanted to make him a sweater then, but I haven't had a chance. So I am working on a new sweater. I had already bought the yarn. I just needed okay, why can't I find the pattern? I just needed to buy the pattern finally. And where? I just had it.
Sorry, somebody's taking off in my car.
Oh, I hope it's a family member.
I do too.
Here it is. Okay.
Oh, it's your dad.
So this is the pattern. It's Ziggy from Georgie Nicholson. You can see the details right there. I got it on Ravelry, but I'm sure you can find it. That's the only place I know.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find another picture of it. Let me see.
That's so cute. I think it's really cute on a boy.
Yes. I'm trying to find more pictures without, here. Yeah. I think it'll be really cute. One more. There's a few different options too. If you don't want to knit the hood, there's a collar placket option.
Oh, but I love the hood.
I do too. I'm doing the hood. Here's another angle of it in blue and in yellow. Just so cute. I think the stitches are just knit and purl to make that. I'm just starting the sleeve. I actually started it with the called for needle size and thought I should have just known I need to go down a needle size because I'm a loose knitter and my stitches are all really like just really loose. So I went down a needle size and restarted it. So that's
what's your
the yarn. Huh?
What's your make of the yarn? Is it a figurine or a DK?
It's a DK. It's a DK, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's just one of their, I forget what the yarn is. Let's see. It might be this, but I'm not sure. This could be something else from a different project.
Oh, I will give a plug for Georgie's Patterns. When I was a really new knitter, a friend of mine challenged me to knit along with her, who knit a lot before me, and kind of walked me through knitting. I knit a dress actually for Liddy. Was one of her patterns, and it was an adorable dress pattern, and it had lots of little gathers in it. But her patterns are so well written. If you are a beginnery, a little bit beyond beginner, but haven't really tried a garment, I would recommend any of her patterns. You have to really kind of read through the beginning because she has a lot of sizing information, but her patterns also are sized to fit up to like size 12 children.
This goes from 0 to 12, like from newborn or 0 to 3 or something. I'm doing the 12-month size, and it goes all the way up through size 12. So if one of my girls,
you can kind of custom make it too, because oftentimes, her point was children, babies and toddlers don't grow very much through here. Most of their growth is this way in sleeves. And so anyway, I just have always loved her patterns, and I can't recommend her enough for children's knitwear.
Yes.
She actually has a couple of adult sweaters too.
I haven't really ever tried any of those, but I have knit several of her children's sweaters, and they're always great. So that's everything. Yeah, and she has a ton of patterns, so you can definitely, if you're interested, really.
And doll dress, like American Girl doll size patterns that match her.
That go with the stuff that you can knit for your kid.
So is that what you got?
That's what I've got. What do you have?
Okay. Well, I'll just kind of go in order of what I had written down, but not necessarily in order of what I stitched. So that kind of was all over the place this week. But I did finally start. Oops, where did it go? Got my little bag of tricks here. I thought I had my little bag of tricks.
You have a bag of
tricks. And a little pile of tricks.
Might be the wrong bag of tricks.
I got, where did it go? Oh, this is it. I started my first, the Scornu.
Oh, you did?
I started it. It's by Little Dove Knits. She has a series coming out. I'm doing Summer Bee. She has Spring Bunny one, but I just think it's so cute. And so I'm not very far. I basically have stitched one of these center leaves. But I did all that last night.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah. And I'm doing this on she calls for a 14 count Aida, but I didn't want to do Aida. I wanted something a little more dainty. So I'm doing a 28 count. It's kind of a greenish colored linen. But yeah, and it's just DMC. So it's not anything real. But I thought, oh, I'm really excited to kind of start this, because I think having a little basket of Scornus would be kind of fun too.
Yes.
As something beyond just pieces to frame.
Yes.
So I'm going to work on that, because I actually think that came up again for me to work on today when I spun the wheel. So I did that, and then I did start finally my Hearts and Pines, our Barbara Bergeau Richards. I restarted my knit along, and I'm going to tell you, you guys are going to be wowed and amazed by this start. I had a hard time starting this one. I don't know why. This is the pattern. I started somewhere in there.
I can already tell what you're about to show. Wow, I'm so amazed.
I just know that your heads are exploding now with amazing.
I can't believe you got that many stitches in. this week.
I called it a win. I started it and my thread kept knotting up, and then it shredded, and then I lost my spot. I mean, it was like not a good night of stitching for me that night, but I at least got it started.
Man.
I think you can call it a start.
You can call that a start. You put some stitches in a fabric. It's a start.
I don't normally start in the middle anymore, but I really didn't want to start up here in these little hearts that are scattered around. I thought, no, I better start in the middle. So that was one evening.
That was a whole evening.
Although I think what I did, I also worked that night on my Dreaming Girl, which also didn't get a lot done, but I did put a little bit on her. So I put in the beacon stitches and those.
Oh, it's looking good.
So that was probably one night's worth of stitching. This and that little pathetic start. It was
nice to just like that.
It was not a well, we're gonna attach a video of my house at the end of this video, at the end of our recording, so you can see why I'm a little scattered and stressed.
Yeah, we'll include it. So watch all the way to the end so you can see why she's having to hole up in this room all the time.
And you'll feel really good about your house when you see this. Then I had started this piece for my knot mania, because it was such a bad mania month. It was the Have You Any Wool by Brenda Gervais. And I think I only had done her hair and her face and her hat. So I mean, it's so tiny. I'm doing this over 2 on a 36 count. But I got her sleeve started, her little shirt, and the beginning of her little apron.
You got farther.
Yeah, that was a good night. It was a good night. I don't know. Maybe nobody was home. Then I did work on my snow garden again. I don't know if I worked on something else the same night or if I just gave up early, because I didn't do a lot. So this is the snow garden pattern. In case this is by Blackbird Designs. So previously I had just done, and mine is not looking this white because the colors that I bought that it calls for do not look anything like these colors. But I had done this and down here, and this, and then I decided to start this.
Try to get over to the house.
So I did, but you can't see it. I mean, you can see it. So there's a chimney.
Yeah.
That looks upside down. Oh no. Yeah.
You're right.
That's one of the chimneys, and then this is the front of the house.
You got there. You were going to try to get over to the house.
Yeah.
I don't think you had that big snowflake done yet last week.
I did.
All of it? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you had more to stitch to get over to the house.
No, it was kind of tricky figuring out which of those snowflakes to count off of though to get to the house.
Yeah.
And that's being done 1 thread over 2 on a shrunken up 28 count, I think, but it's definitely shrunken. Snow garden. And then I was supposed to start Blue Flowers, Acorns, but I didn't start that. And I was supposed to do Gathered in Love by Barbara Rougeau, but I didn't do her. But I did work on something that I shared yesterday in our Zoom, because I was so proud of this with our Zoom friends, because it's the stitch along that Sarah and I are doing, and it's the Egg Gatherer.
Oh yeah, it's Gathering Eggs by Nora Corbett.
Gathering Eggs by Nora Corbett, Mirabilia. And Sarah's ripping along. And last time I showed it, all I had done was this and part of this, her face and part of her hair. So now, ta-da! I got her hair all done. I finished this yellow. I did this, and I'm coming down here.
Oh, you've gotten even more done, I think, than yesterday. Well, did you have that light teal done down below?
I did, yeah. I just don't think it showed up.
I just don't think I could see it. I saw the white, but I didn't see. Yeah. So it's really good.
So yeah, no, I didn't work on it anymore last night. I worked on my what did I work on last night? Oh, the Bee Bisconu and My Joyful World. But now I know what you mean, because now I'm in bigger blocks. It is a little bit of a pain because this light aqua, there's a lot of her dress is blended, but
yeah,
I think what I want to do is just get another floss away bag to put my blended groupings together when I cut the threads.
Yeah, I think I ended up doing something like that to keep them together. And then what I did like is once I would do like the white, it was pretty easy to do the next color next to it because it's already, you're kind of just filling in, like I'm pointing at it. You can't see what I'm pointing to, but
right there was
you can like start there and then just start filling in and counting down. And then the next color is just filling in and counting down in the next.
And there's
like
quite a bit more that comes out. Yeah. There's still another big chunk. She's got a pretty.
Well, and you have all the ruffles down at the bottom, but those are kind of the same thing where once you do the one color, then the next color is just filling in the next color. It's just
I was getting ready to do the rest of her arm and hand because her basket's right here, but I wanted to do that before I moved over here.
Yeah.
To do more.
The basket's kind of a pain. I felt like once I got the basket done, that was the last thing that I was kind of like, meh, this was a lot of work. I liked it. I mean, I liked it the whole time, but in comparison, now when I look back, doing the dress and doing the background has been a lot nicer.
It's kind of like her hair. There's a lot of browns and golds in it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And it's actually some of the same blended colors, I think, as the hair.
I actually did a chunk of this on Thursday. It was my Thursday pull for Lovely Thursday or whatever we have for our tags. And then Friday here was just a miserable, sloppy, wet, gray, lucky day. And I don't work on Friday. So I thought, I haven't really had it. And I needed to do yard work, but I really couldn't do that till Saturday. So I got up. I stayed up late the night before. I got up late. I just sat in the chair over there till probably 2 o'clock, probably from 10 till 2:30 before I took a shower and just kept working on her. I did make a mistake down in here. And when I started doing the blue, I realized I had to rip out about 25 rows because I was not going to fudge.
No, it's probably not worth it if it's just that little bit. If it was a lot, then maybe.
And it wasn't too hard. In the past, I've had a habit of when I end a thread, I thread it through the back and then I'll kind of knot it through a stitch. I'm not knotting them as much anymore.
I haven't.
So it's easier to pull out. So I did that on here. I was able to pull out my thread and just kind of unstitch them. I don't cut them.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine knotting it. That would be way hard when you had to rip out.
Yeah.
You don't really need to knot it. It anchors it well enough, I feel like.
Yeah, I think so. I just did overkill on it. And then the last thing I really worked on that got a little bit of love a couple of times was my Joyful World. And I was working on it actually a little bit yesterday while we were Zooming, but I ended up ripping out part of it. So I'm doing the June square, which is the bear, and the honeycomb, honey pot, and the bees. I need to get cracking on this because that bears more stitching than
quite a bit of stitching.
Yeah, so I'm going to move my needle here. So previously I had done this, and I did.
Skip you were talking about.
Well,
you said yesterday at some point that you'd been working on a V-skep, and I was trying to think what you were working on that had one in it, although your Biscorno does too, probably, but.
Yeah, it does. It has several. So anyway, I was just off. I was just I wasn't counting very well. I was just assuming the pattern was what I thought it was in my mind, and I wasn't looking at it. So anyway, I did that a little bit last night.
Cute.
And put it away to work on the bee Biscorno.
Cute.
So cute. I'm really excited about that. I hope I can actually assemble it and it looks nice.
Yeah.
Same as the needle book. I hope I can.
I think it'll be not that hard. I think you'll be fine.
The video looks easy enough. I mean, it's fiddly, but not too fiddly. Like it didn't look at it and go, oh, that's too fiddly for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about all I worked on. I didn't knit at all, I don't think, which I do need to because I need to get that sweater done. That baby's putting on weight finally.
I know, finally. So I had some haul from last week that I didn't show, but it was the stuff that I took from you. Either stuff you gifted me or stuff you were just like, here, look through this and take what you want.
Yeah.
So I thought I could show that today.
Yeah.
So just for fun to showcase like some of the things I've got in my stash now. Betty Broomstick, this Lizzie Kate, which goes along with my little bunnies that I actually was gonna pull out the boy bunny to work on. I think I took it in the car to work on my way to town or something when Jesse was driving the other day, and I just didn't, I don't know, I just didn't have it.
Show the back of that kit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's the deal.
With the fabric. Yeah, I don't know
everything you need. And this kit, so what
I have to get the floss still.
Yeah, when I started stitching back in 2018 again, people were begging for this pattern because it was not in print and Lizzie Kate retired. And I realized that I had bought it at the little store that we've talked about in Sandpoint, Idaho, that went out of business.
Yes. I mean, you probably got it for, yep, look.
$1. And what was the original price on it?
28, and then it had been marked down to 14, and then she had marked it all the way down to 1. It was like clearing everything out.
It's got cute fabric in there too.
Yeah. I know.
Color's the fabric. Is it orange?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I looked it up at the time, and eBay was going, if you could find it on eBay, I thought, wow, I've got a little treasure here. I don't know if they're more readily available, and I really do love it, but I know Sarah's got the bunnies going. I thought, oh, you might really like it.
I will stitch this. Yeah, I will.
You've got little girls at home still.
By then I'll know how to finish it. So
yeah,
look at all these little, I don't know. I think there might be a little orange pumpkin or something in there.
Yeah, probably. Little rhinestones and stuff.
Rhinestones and pumpkin.
Oh, $28 down to $1.
Oh yeah, the cat is wearing a little pumpkin pendant.
Oh, cute.
That's cute. And her hair is that black.
Oh,
remember what it's
so cute.
Fuzzy black hair fiber is just what she calls it. But.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I have that I'm gonna just tuck away and start eventually. Because I have one rabbit stitched and one rabbit going, huh?
What is she called? Betty Broomstick?
Betty Broomstick Special Edition Kit from Lizzie Kate. They might not have any more. I mean, it might have been a one.
I'm looking.
I haven't tried looking for it. While you look, I'll keep going. You passed to me this Lily Violet. So I had stitched that cute spring one and loved it. So I've got Let It Snow from Lily Violet. Just use DMCs, which is so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I like using fancy flosses, but on a budget. And then Plum Street Samplers Goodbye Fall. So it's kind of like a transition from, which I like to think about doing in like November at Thanksgiving, which is perfect because it has a little turkey. Because I start to transition a little bit out of all the fall stuff and into Thanksgiving stuff in November usually. And then here's another Lily. No, this is a Madame Chantilly who I love, and I've never stitched anything from her, but I have a ton of her stuff on my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list. I might switch it to say winter, or I might just say Heaver. I don't know. And then this one you didn't want, I think, because these faces, the symbols are so hard to read.
Yeah, for my.
But I think I can do it. I don't even wear glasses, so my eyes are still pretty good. I might be able to do it. So this one is Maria's Angel.
So cute.
And then there's another faces one in here, isn't there? No.
I thought there was. There's no Betty Broomstick on eBay.
None.
Mm-mm.
Maybe there, I thought there was another faces one. So maybe I took it out and left it over there. Last thing, this is the thing I probably, oh no, there's 2 other things that I must have taken out and put somewhere. Because there's the, what's the tree, what's the one with all the trees on it that you gave me?
Oh. Was it a Rosewood Manor? Did I give you the Rosewood Manor tree one?
Yes. It's a Rosewood Manor
amongst us or something?
Yes. I really want to stitch that one. That's like at the top of all the ones you gave me. I think I want to try and stitch that. This was another. And then I think there's another faces. Barbara Bourgeot Richards faces. There is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave
you. And you had passes.
Raise the Roof.
Raise the Roof. Fall.
And there is nothing wrong with these patterns. I have so many that I thought, oh, I need to not wait till I die to give these to Sarah.
That's a cute one. So I'm going to tuck those in my stash and come up with a way to use them. Do you have any stash this week?
I have just a little bit. So just a plug. I did buy, my QFC had the Just Cross Stitch magazine. It doesn't usually, and if you haven't seen it, it's all about gardening this issue.
That sounds so
And there's like towels and all kinds of things you can make. They do a thing on they do an expose on floss, but there was something I thought was really cute.
Did you say an expose? What are they exposing about floss? Is there a corrupt
look at this
behind the floss creation? Ooh, wow. Ooh, that's beautiful.
It was called It's All About That Floss. Sorry. Isn't that pretty?
I'm just picturing expose, you know. That's really pretty. Who's the designer on that flower one?
Huh?
Who's the designer on that flower one?
Designer is Kristen Stolzfus Clay.
I'm sorry if you can hear my children screaming downstairs.
Okay, hitting it again. Okay.
Okay.
So this, I thought of you, this gardening sampler.
Oh, that's cute.
Look at that border. Can you see the border, the carrots?
Oh my gosh, that's cute. Yes. Oh.
It says, you know, for your she shed or your garden shed.
That's cute.
But what also made me think of you is it's got a little nautical, kind of summery nautical. Mm-hmm. This little 4-piece sampler has 4 little blocks. One is ride the tide, find your anchor, have a whale of a good time, and wish upon a star. So it's find your anchor, ride the tide.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cute? And then this one was kind of cute, colorful. See, they made the find your anchor into like a little scissor fob.
Oh, a fob. Oh, cute.
But then there's this other designer. Let's see if I can find it. Oops, did I skip it? Sailing Away, designed by Rhonda Nori of Tangled Threads and Things.
Oh, that's cute. I love waves like that, you know.
Cute. And the designer of the Follow Your Dreams is L.S. Porter of Hot House Petunia Designs.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, there's a few little cute little things in here. And then I also had splurged because I saw that the punch needle and primitives. Oh, my World of Cross Stitch came too.
Oh.
The one that you sent me.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is right now. I'll have to share it next week. But anyway, I got the punch needle and primitive stitcher magazine.
Oh, yeah. They always put stuff in there.
This was such a good deal.
Yeah.
For what you, I mean, it's heavy. There's a lot in it and a lot of designers. There's the Biscornu. She calls it Deb Summer Biscornu.
Well, that's pretty.
My new fascination. And then there was another one that I really liked in here. It's kind of a, oh, here's Barbara Anna's Sea Dandelion. Oh, I love it. You're just gonna think I'm weird.
That's so you.
It's just so quirky. Anyway, but there is a more serious piece. Lindy Stitches has a piece in here. Priscilla and Chelsea have a piece in here. But where's the, where did they go? Maybe, oh, here it is. It's by Teresa's Miller of Teresa's Primitive Treasures. It's Be Kind. Oh,
that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty cute.
So anyway, that was that. And then I also, there's a Instagrammer. She is pretty Southern. She actually lives in Oregon. And you follow her?
I did for a while.
Oh, she's been pretty open on Instagram in the past about her struggle with infertility, and she's actually pregnant now. I think her idea.
I think you following her. I don't know.
4 months, and they're in the middle of a huge home reno, and they moved out for a little bit into a hotel, but they're back in their house. But I didn't realize she does project bags, and so she had posted that she had done project bags. So I just quick grabbed a small one.
That's cute.
I like these small bags for my smaller projects. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's really all I got. I don't have another haul. I've been pretty good. We got the wedding coming up, so I'm kind of focusing on that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make like specific plans for the coming week because I'm kind of just wanting to stitch what I want to stitch. I am working on my Whitco pieces. That's sort of my focus for the month. Mm-hmm. It's really trying to just make sure I get those done, since those were my goal this, when I thought about this year, those are what I wanted to do. So I'm working kind of hard to get those done. But I decided I'm going to place an order this week. I haven't done it yet. And get some supplies because I really want to stitch this blue flower. I think I got this when we were in the Tri-Cities at that. What was the stitching store
I think you did. And I bought the acorn one.
I'll have to put the link to that store if I can remember what it is. Do you remember what the name of the store is? It's kind of my closest LNS, but I can't remember. Yeah. Anyways, if you're in the area here in Central Washington, or even I guess part of Idaho, maybe it might be one of your closer shops. I got this there, Alpaca Farm, and it's, what do you call these? This is called
a drum.
A drum. I think I asked last week too, and I still can't remember. So here's what it actually looks like. Like that's
so cute.
It kind of makes me think, I don't have alpaca, but it kind of makes me think of our place because we do. If I could turn it here, I'm just going to do it. If I turn this around, I wonder if you can see outside.
Yeah.
So we have this huge tree, and you can even see Rosie out there on the swing right now. And then, and you can see my Bible verse pinned up on the, probably the mess behind me. I don't know. It just makes me think of what I feel. We don't have a big red barn. We have an old gray falling apart barn, but that needs to be torn down. But eventually we do want to put in a big red, like a tin, not tin, but a steel or whatever shop kind of thing on there. So anyways, I've never done anything that requires this kind of finishing. I'm not even great at finishing frames. So we'll see. This may be one of those.
Zach is still back there waiting to be.
I think I want to get some supplies to start this because I've sort of finished a lot of my smalls. I have mostly just, and I'm kind of itching to work on. I need something. I've got the Fresh from the Garden one that's small, but I don't have a lot of things that are just easy to grab and work on in the car when I'm visiting with friends. I just have some really big projects. And then the other one I really want to get stuff to work on. This isn't really a small, but is Bobbing for Pumpkins, which
I've got to get that
and
finished.
I've been drooling over for a couple of years working on this. I don't know what exactly about this pattern that I love, but I just love it.
And you need to get the overdyes for it.
I will do overdyes on this.
I don't think DMC will ever do justice to that piece.
Especially for their dresses and
the oranges and the pumpkins
and the sign, the boo.
Yeah,
I just think I'm gonna kind of splurge just a little bit and get those.
There's big enough splotches that the variegations are worth it.
I think so too, and I think it really adds a lot to this specific piece. I might get I'm thinking this. I think I'll probably get some of the overdyes for this too. Probably the red and the brown, probably the greens. So I might just kind of splurge a little bit.
Yeah, I totally think
it's been a long time since I spent any money on.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And those are special projects that you're looking forward to. So
yeah, I've had those in my stash for a while. So I'm ready. And I have finished. I've worked pretty hard to finish like Milk and Cream Company and Navera Spring. Anyways, there've been a lot of smaller ones that I have actually finished. So I think I need to start a few. Like I actually do need to. Not like you.
Life is depending on it. So my plans, I did spin the wheel. And I guess what I need to let myself feel is that even if I spin the wheel for a piece, I don't have to spend my whole evening on just that piece. And I tend to not, but sometimes I feel like, ooh, I get.
But then do you put it off because you're kind of like, oh, but I don't really want to work on that one tonight?
Because I still need to get my hoity-toity out. Because so my Whitco pieces are hoity-toity and Sunflower Fairy, Nora Corbett.
I really want to work on those this week.
Huh?
I really want to see you work on those this week.
I'm hoping
Sunflower Fairy.
I've got to because I haven't done them at all this month, and we're at the middle of the month. I lost that first week of June, and I just don't know where time has gone. This is just such a weird year.
Well, and you can always catch up. You know, if you don't.
I know. I could. Yeah, July is going to be the first part of July is going to be a little iffy, but after the wedding, things will totally slow down. In fact, we've got 2 weeks off for vacation in the end of September and August, and we might not be going anywhere. It might just be a staycation, which is fine after the summer that we will have had and all the home projects and stuff. But we would like to go back to Minnesota, maybe, or Illinois to visit Sam and Ash. But anyway, so Indiana. I did spin just to,
Indiana. Are they moving to Indiana? You said Illinois.
Indiana, sorry.
Different state.
I'm going to start this week. I haven't done it yet. I've told it a few times, was the Blue Flower. I really love her stuff, is this Acorns that has the creation of 1,000
Blue Flower Week for us.
Yeah, is in a single acorn. So, and I do have the overdyes for this because I don't think DMC would do the justice on this. But I remember I couldn't find the one. And I'm going to use a DMC, I think, just for the border. But anyway, that's coming out this week. And Sunflower Fairy, which didn't get worked on this week, but it will. I'm not even going to show it. I also have not worked on this for a while, and this came up. And it's my, it's the Loose Feathers, the birds.
Yeah.
And I'm working on, I had started this summer.
Oh, summer. That's right.
And I'm not terribly far. I've seen some people's on Instagram that are farther, and it's gorgeous. I am doing this over one on a 25 count Lugana. It's lovely to work on, but it's a little more time consuming. So I'm kind of looking forward to working on this a little bit. It's been a while, and it is so pretty when you get all 3 of those seasons done. I do really like stitching birds for some reason. Just don't ever get them done. So that came up. Button Up, my little prairie schooler Button Up got pulled.
You're so close. You can have that
so
done.
Close on that. And then Things of Summer, Alicia Paulson's. I'm pretty well. I don't know how far. I haven't worked on this for a while. It's pouring out, you guys.
I need to put mine out. I still have my spring stuff up. This is terrible.
Too. I'm gonna put sunflower stuff up before the wedding.
June. It's hot here. It's time for my summer stuff.
Yeah, I think I have left to go on this piece. I have the geraniums. I have the sandals.
Yeah, you're close to that one.
I have that and that.
Yeah, you're pretty close. For that.
I'm close. So he's gonna make an appearance, and that'll be kind of fun because I haven't worked on any of these for a while. And then I think that's everything except for the whole. Technically, but might not get worked on, but it did get called, I still haven't started this piece, and it's so hard to show because it's such a bad picture, but it's the heaven and nature scene.
Oh yeah, it is a hard picture.
Yeah. This is supposed to get started. I've got everything all kitted up. It was supposed to be a mania start. It didn't happen. Tough. And if I really get going on Button Up.
It's going to be a Junia start.
Huh?
It's going to be a Junia start. June.
Right. And I pull 2 wintry pieces every week. So if I really get going on Button Up, I might just work on that two days. Yeah. And those are my plans. I don't really have anything and I need to knit. So
I think I'm going to try to pull out the mistake that I made on Snow Queen. I probably need to just buckle down and put that on one of the nights and just plan, because I just made that mistake on my Snow Queen, my Mirabilia.
Yeah. I also need to start this for my magazine monthly challenge, my needle book.
Oh yeah, you do need to.
And I think tonight, and I'll work on this in my Beavis corner. My summer.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, once you get that mistake figured out.
Yeah, I'll be able to want to work on that again.
Yeah.
I just have not wanted to pull it out because I know I have that looming, and if I just do it and buckle down and do it, it'll be all better, and I'll be ready to move.
You'll be so much happier about it.
You said you had a giveaway for today.
I do have a giveaway. Right. This is from my stash, actually, because I'm cleaning out my stash because I need to make room for new stuff. I'm going to take it out of the plastic because it's kind of a wrinkled plastic. But this is such a cute pattern. I just have other stuff. And it is Plum Street Sampler. It's part of her a bowl full of Marys, and it's Mary one. Coming through.
Hold it a little closer. There you go. So there's the Santa, the reindeer,
and the holly.
Does she have one for like every day of the December or something? Is it kind of an Advent? Because there's the 25 up there. So is there one for 24?
Not that I know of.
Oh,
I don't think so. Maybe she does, and I never noticed it.
Okay, I'm looking.
And I promise, all of the backlog giveaways that I've got going are going out this week. I told Sarah after we get done recording, I'm going to stick the notes in each of them. And I have a package that I'm sending to my knitting friend who's having a rough time. So I'm sending her a special package. So I just need to get that wrapped up. It always takes me longer because I wrap them in outer paper and I package them up like crazy with tape so they don't get open.
There's 3. There's just 3 of those.
What are the other ones called?
Mary 2. What's that one called? Mary 1?
No, it's just called, oh yeah, Mary 1.
Here's Mary 2. We don't have this one, sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Looks like it's kind of hard to focus, but it looks like a snowman and another Santa and reindeer and a sleigh.
That's cute.
And here's Mary 3.
Oh.
There's a series of 3. So if you get this one, you can get the other 2, I think, on 1, 2, 3 stitch anywhere that sells
patterns. They've been around for a while. She puts a Bible verse on hers oftentimes. Mm-hmm. I never noticed that. Yeah. This is actually from 2015. So these are not like brand new patterns. But anyway, I fell in love with her designs when I first came back to stitching in 18 and bought a bunch of hers. The one I gave you, that Farewell to Fall.
Yeah.
Is the one of hers that I think I bought early on.
We kind of went on a huge Plum Street buying kick for a while, and you like bought a ton. This one.
And I just, even though I love them, I just know I am never gonna, it's like.
This one's from 2018. It's not as old.
Yeah, I think that was a newer one.
In fact, I think it might use the same chenille. Oh no, it's a slightly different color, but anyway, they're finished the same or something really similar. They have a chenille.
Oh yeah,
right. Not important.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you a question.
Oh, what are we gonna have them say?
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like last time we did a giveaway, I was really good. We were good and thought of something ahead of time. It doesn't have to be really related. It can just be something else.
I'll just say. Say something with the word cold in it. The word will be cold.
Cold. I will search comments for the word cold. Cold. It's good because it's kind of a wintry one, but also maybe you like some specific cold beverage. If you have like something we should look up that might be really good and cold for summer, you can tell about that too. Or you can tell if it's cold.
If you've got a great cold summer drink, that'd be great. Or if you're sitting where Sarah is and it's 89 degrees and you're roasting and you're dreaming of cold.
Yeah.
Or if you're living where I am, it looks like it's cold because it looks like January, but it's actually muggier than all get out because it's 100% humidity. And what's the temperature right now? It's like 63 to 66 right now. And it's gross. That's why I have that little fan going because it's just, the air is just.
Yeah, it's heavy here too. It's like it got really warm yesterday and then the clouds moved in and just trapped that heat in. And so it's 86, which is actually pretty warm as well, but it's also warm, like muggy. What are you reading this week? Anything new? Same thing?
Still reading my Maisie Dobbs, but I did buy a book that was kind of fun looking, actually, that people might be interested. If they're looking for a fun summer read, let me see if I can pull it up really quick on my Kindle app. I haven't started it, but it came highly recommended, kind of one of those heartwarming but not schmaltzy books. And let me see. It's called The Invisible. Go back.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry. It's called The Invisible Husband of Frick Island by Colleen Oakley. And the gist of it is, I'm not gonna look up you can look it up, but it's The Invisible Husband of Frick, F-R-I-C-K Island. And I think it's an island off the East Coast somewhere. And it's a woman whose husband was a fisherman, went out to sea, never came back.
Fun.
But she operates like he's coming home any day now. She just moves through life like he's just here, and the whole town plays along with it. And a reporter, I think it's a reporter, goes to that island to report on something. I don't think he goes, I can't remember if he goes for that story specifically or finds that story. And it's supposed to be this heartwarming, anyway, it just came, like everybody was talking about it online. And I'm kind of anxious to start that because it kind of reminded me a little bit of maybe, what's his name? The guy that wrote Backstrom, who wrote A Man Called Ove.
Yeah. Uva or something.
Uve, yeah. Anyway, if you haven't read that,
Bachman, I think.
Yes, if you haven't read that, you've got.
That one is funny and quirky and sad, and I read that last year, I think.
And the movie, I loved the movie.
I haven't watched the movie yet.
Oh my gosh, the movie was excellent. So anyway, that's what this kind of reminded me. Just kind of maybe a quirky but heartwarming kind of town, small town kind of thing, but. Somebody that I follow. Like
a Google Doc or something of book recommendations, because we get sometimes when we chat about books in our comments, and I know somebody was asking for kind of like a list of book recommendations, but I was trying to figure out how to do it in a way that we could just kind of update in real time and like people could see it. So I got to think about it. I wonder if like doing a Google Doc or something would allow me to just keep a list that could be public.
Do you just link the Google Doc to a description box below?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So
or can you set up a separate, how about if you set up a separate GoodReads account?
Oh yeah, GoodReads could be Stitch and Stuff. Is that Dad? Yeah, it is. Hi, Dad.
How's my
Yeah,
kitchen?
that's a good idea. It's good stuff. Good read.
What's wrong?
What do you say?
I said, how's my kitchen coming? He said, it's not.
Hmm.
I don't know if that means it's not put back together or it's not coming apart very well.
Or he's just quit.
But yeah, maybe something like that. And people can.
Yeah. I'll think about that we'll see if I have time to think about it this week because we have camp this week that we're running for all the kids. Yeah. I'll still try to think about it, maybe even today when we are done, and see. And then next week we can
add books. And so if you want to add, if you have a suggestion this week, put it in your comment too. If you found some
and I'll
older book or
have time to figure out a Goodreads account. If you haven't used Goodreads, it's a website that it's like a kind of like a Facebook or social media-ish, but it's all around books. Like you can make, or another way to think about it is like a way to organize your reading list and keep track of what you've read and what you liked and there's recommended, like reviews and recommendations and things like that. I haven't.
You can find friends.
I have an account, but I haven't used it a ton because I don't really have a lot of friends on it. But
I haven't been on mine for years.
I know. I have kind of used it a little bit, but I've always think, oh, I should use that more. I never do. So this might be a nice way to do that.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with another Brother Cadfael, the second one in the Brother Cadfael series. One Corpse Too Many. And they are so fun. I really love the character of Brother Cadfael. He's if you haven't read these before, which I had never even heard of him until recently, he is a monk who lives in the medieval times. So it's a medieval whodunit, which is just so funny to say. But he kind of solves these mysteries that just happen at the time. He's not like people don't hire him like a detective, but so this one takes place in the middle of kind of a civil war for the crown. And there's like sort of a massacre of the other army. But when they count the bodies, there's one too many. So somebody else has also committed a murder and thrown the body in with these other people who had been killed, like in the battle. And anyway, so then there's this whole sweet storyline with this girl and this boy and how they need to escape. And anyway, it's just
I just bought it.
This one, these are great summer reads. Like especially if you like any kind of mystery or whatever. They're not gory. I mean, I'm talking about these but it's not like, really painful or anything. They're just, and I do think there might be a show or a movie, or I think a show, maybe a BBC production or something. Yeah. If that's true, I'm not even sure, but I kind of feel like I saw that somewhere, but I haven't watched it. But these books by Ellis Peters, I think there's a ton. I mean, there's a list on the back of all these different ones. I'm sure you don't have to read them in order, but he is like he was kind of a worldly man. He traveled, he was in the Crusades, but then when he came back, he kind of gave up that way of life. And he's his job is to tend the gardens and make healing salves and all these things. But he gets thrown into all these mysteries
Sounds fun.
It's really fun. The other thing I'm reading is so I read her first book. It's Emily St. John Mandel. Her first book was called Station 11. And it was kind of this post-apocalyptic, I feel like even maybe a virus and like it was before COVID, but there was like everybody was kind of dead and the world was kind of ended and everybody was left is sort of trying to figure it out. And it's one of my favorite books I've ever read. It was so well written. It was her first book and the language that she uses is just beautiful. This book is very different. It's called The Glass Hotel. It's her second book and I'm listening to it on audiobook. And I'm not even sure what's going on. It's like but her first book is a little bit like that too. Like you don't really know what's going on until you do.
You didn't just start this book.
I don't think I've talked about this one yet.
You were talking about a book not too long ago where you weren't sure the timeline was all weird and
maybe that was this book.
Yeah. Like that might have been. You're not sure what's real and what's not, or I just feel like there was a really weird book you were reading that had to do with.
Maybe I did talk about this one. I don't remember talking about it, but
yeah,
maybe I did. Yeah, there's somebody who is, you're not really sure what exactly is going on. There's some kind of scam or con, I think, happening.
Yes. You talked about
that one. So I haven't listened to it a lot lately. I need to go back and kind of keep listening. I kind of forgot I was listening to it until recently. So I need to, but it's really interesting. And I will so far I feel like I'd read anything she wrote just because she stole my heart with Station 11. If you haven't read Station 11 and you like sort of like, I don't know, post-apocalyptic stories, and anyway, that one was, but it's also kind of poetic prose. It's really pretty. Anyway, that's what I'm reading.
I did find something in my stash that I thought was kind of hilarious. So in 18, when I started stitching, I was only watching a few Flosstubes, and one of them that I watched quite a bit was Jan Hicks Creates, and she started kind of a Christmas in July like ornament stitch along. Fat Quarter Shop came along, I think, a year later and does Jolly July, and you know, there's a lot of other areas. But at the time, I thought, oh, I have some of those ornament magazines, those just cross stitch ornament magazines, and I have many in my closet. And I thought, yeah, I probably got rid of some of them. I bought them every year, even when I wasn't stitching, because they would be at the grocery store. And I always thought, oh, I might want those someday. And the early years always had a shepherd's bush ornament. And I always loved those. So when we got this whole home disaster going on here, Sam brought down a crate from the attic that had some quilting stuff of mine and just some random craft stuff that I went through. And I found five more of these just ornament magazines. It's crazy.
A lot of ornament options in the future.
I mean, I might have to do a July ornament.
Yeah.
This one, I don't think I've hardly even, it's hardly even bent. Like I probably bought it and just stored it away.
Tucked it away.
So I thought I just kind of laughed at myself because I know I'd given a bunch of stuff away and I just assumed it's all gone. And then here I've got.
Me a ton, and I kind of pulled out what I thought I would keep.
And this is from 1997.
Yeah.
2001. 2004. 2005. And 2008.
I bet a bunch of people watching have like a stash of all those.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I still have them, and I do think someday I'll probably have time to do more ornaments and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, when I'm not working, when I live in Idaho, when I don't have
free time.
Yeah, when I have all this free time. But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought I have to show those magazines because I thought, geez, Kim, you don't have any idea what you've got in this house. Who knows what other treasures I'll find when we start really packing.
Yeah. Oh, scary.
Yeah. But I don't really have any other plans. Just waiting for my countertops to come on Tuesday. So I have no kitchen until probably after Wednesday, because after the countertops come in, you can't use the sink or move the stove back in. So it's going to be a week of kind of creative cooking and eating out and cross stitching and maybe knitting and working. I'm slammed at work again, really slammed at work again. I'm just kind of trying to think about work tomorrow because on any given day, I maybe get, on a normal day, maybe 2 or 3 new appointments scheduled that I have to deal with. I think between Thursday when I logged off, between Thursday during the day and Friday afternoon, I checked my email just to see what was going on. I probably have over 20 new appointments I have to deal with tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, yeah, give me happy thoughts.
We have a crazy week this week. So there's 2 weeks this summer that my husband is running a technology camp for free for the kids in our area as part of our ministry that we do to kind of, we'll also include things like Bible lessons and stuff, but the main push is Minecraft coding and learning some basic coding skills using the Minecraft education program, which I don't know that much about, but I don't have to because I'm doing a lot of food for that because feeding, because it's like a day camp. So I've been prepping and storing food and getting ready to feed.
Are you doing all the food for it?
I am doing the food for it, which is fine. I have somebody who's helping me a couple days and then a little bit of help from some other people who work there. But anyways, so that's going to be, he has, I think, almost 20 kids. He's got 18 kids at least for sure at this point. So, and there were a couple more in the wings that might be interested. So that's perfect because we wanted to.
Great for a first year, especially.
Yeah. So we've never done this before. We've done other kinds of like outreach programs in this community over time, but this is the first time we're doing it this way. And we're excited, really excited. He's worked super hard. And I can tell he's nervous about it. Just what are the unknowns? Because he's never done like a whole day camp that he's planned. But I'm proud of him. He's worked really hard, and he has some great volunteers to come alongside and help us run it. And it'll be great. So we're doing this one this week, and it'll be busy. There'll be another one like that in July. And we have been so thankful for like tons of, well, we have regular people who kind of donate to our living expenses because we're technically missionaries. And this camp has been funded by like 10 or more businesses in our area, small businesses that are interested in like coming alongside and helping our community out here. So anyway, I don't talk a ton about that, but that's a huge part of my life, and I'm so excited. So and all 3 girls are in the age range. He's doing it from going into 3rd grade and going into 6th grade, and Rosie's going into 3rd, and Liddy's going into 6th, and Millie's going into 5th. So they all 3 get to be a part of it as campers. So it'll be a really fun, busy week.
What hours are you guys doing it? Just for my own personal knowledge.
10 to 3:30. Yeah, 10 to 3:30.
I can't call you between 10 and 3:30.
If you do, I might not answer, or I might if I'm just working on the kitchen. But yeah, and I'm helping pick up kids and bring them and stuff because we're providing transportation. So it'll be weird for you to have access to me.
I watched a movie last night. It's an older movie. It's called The Meddler, and it's got Susan Sarandon in it, and it's got what's her name? Last name Pike. She was in
Rosamund Pike.
Bridesmaids. She was the goody, the perfect bridesmaid.
I love her.
And their mother-daughter, and Susan Sarandon is a recent widow. Well, she's not as recent as you find out later. It's been a little longer than you think. But she's moved from New Jersey to LA where her daughter is. And she's like her daughter's a screenwriter. And this mom, she just doesn't have anything to focus on. I mean, she's kind of bereft, right? She has a daughter, and that's really all she's got left and she's got a new life away from family. And so she clings on to her daughter quite a bit. And she's constantly, the movie is being narrated off and on by Susan Sarandon. You don't see her, but you know she's leaving messages for her daughter who doesn't answer her phone, who feels like her mom is constantly meddling in her life. And it's always like, well, she's always, just give me a call back. Just call me back when you get a chance. Don't forget to call me back. And I'm not that bad. But one time she was going to meet, eventually Susan Sarandon has kind of a new love interest, and but he lives out in the canyon somewhere, has no service. So she's like, oh, no. She was going into a hospital because she was going to start volunteering at the hospital. Well, she's talking to her on the phone. And as she comes up to the doors she says, you might want to call me back soon now because I'm going to be in the hospital and I won't be accessible. Well, I'm at the doors of the hospital now. So if you're going to call me, you really should do it. And she kind of stands there another minute or, waiting. It made me laugh because I feel like sometimes I call you because I'm bored or just want to talk to somebody and you don't answer. And I'm like, okay, I won't call you again because I know you'll see it eventually. But it was a cute movie and it had a really cute ending. It's, it wasn't one of those blockbusters, but their relationship gets mended. It goes through a rocky time. And if you're looking for a fun movie to watch and you like Susan Sarandon, which I do like her acting.
Me too.
Was fun in it. Yeah.
Rosie the other day said, what did she say? Mimi doesn't really ever text you. She just calls you all the time. And I was talking with somebody recently who doesn't have much of a relationship with their mom, and they were asking me about my relationship with you, and they were like, do you talk to your mom a lot? I was like, oh, every day. They were like, what? They couldn't even fathom talking to their mom every day. I was like, well, we just talk.
I will confess, because we are keeping it real. There are times that I would think, like if I'm driving or I'm going somewhere, I will think I should call my mom.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't. And then I think, oh, I'll just give Sarah a call. I try not to all the time when that happens, but sometimes I do it.
Well, that's okay. I try to always answer if I'm free.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
A whole year,
I'm not offended.
It's totally free.
For
a whole year, I was just totally free all the time. So
no, and I'm never offended if you don't answer. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of lose track of time.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting at my desk.
Yeah, and you're working.
So,
and I'm
10 to 3:30. Do not call Sarah. And I would text you, except for we talk longer, and it takes a long time to text.
I know. Anyway, well, this is a nice long video for those of you who like it when it's long. So here you go. You're welcome.
Take care, everybody. Oh, And stay tuned for the home reno of.
Yeah, we'll add that onto the end so you can see what she sees when she walks out her door of this cozy little nook. Well, thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, kudos to you, I guess.
And thank you to all of our friends that Zoomed with us yesterday. That was really sweet. And it's not just followers, it's friends. I mean, these are stitching friends. And you know, I've seen pictures of people at StitchCon that are meeting up and being friends, but I feel like I've got friends too, even though I don't get to go to StitchCon or whatever. We still have stitching friends, and I really, we really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, and we always dream of maybe doing like a retreat, like an affordable retreat, something really affordable someday. So we'll see someday.
When the Canadian border opens, so our Canadian friends can come.
And somewhere up north here, like
maybe Montana.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. I know exactly where we could stay too. I have a perfect place.
Okay.
Well, anyways, happy stitching. We hope you have a great week. And we will.
Don't forget, use the word cold.
Yes. And we'll hopefully see you next week.